Tonight, Altrincham took on Crewe Alexandra in the 5th pre-season game of our schedule. Altrincham 0, Crewe Alexandra 3 was the final score. We're talking to manager Phil Parkinson. Phil, 3 goals in pretty well quarter of an hour was not an ideal start, but maybe in those sorts of situations it's a good evening for learning things.
That's exactly what I said to the boys there where we spoke. It's really important that we learn from this experience. I've always said the style of football we try and play is very similar to what they do at Crewe, and I think what you saw there was a difference in levels doing it extremely well in the first half in particular. I felt it took that long for us to get to grips with them, maybe half an hour more so, but as you said, they hit us very hard very quickly, and I think it's due to the respect they're giving our players as well, because obviously they must have looked at the MAC game. They're not going to want to come here and get embarrassed, so they've obviously done things exceptionally well. You could see how hard they'd worked in the game. Not that Mac didn't, by the way, it's just the fact that you could see they were really going at us, and full credit to Crewe for the way they played. My players will certainly learn a lot from that, because a lot of the messages we're sort of sending on to me, you could see them doing it, but doing it a lot better than what we were and a lot more effectively. You could tell that they were the full-time outfit. But I felt after half-time when we dusted ourselves down and collected our thoughts, I didn't go in and shout at the lads. We spoke to them about what we needed to do, and I think you could see second half. I felt we were the stronger team with regards to, I don't think they really got out the half too much because of the way we pressed and the way we kept the ball, which is full credit to the players that they took their messages on board that we said, and we could have had a few goals. I mean, we've rattled the crossbar. I'm not saying we've carved them open, but we had really good opportunities, probably better opportunities than they had in the second half. But first half, they really showed the quality. They really showed the difference in levels, and full credit to Dave for coming full strength pretty much, and giving our lads a bit of a lesson in the first half an hour.
You mentioned the one that hit the crossbar from Tom Pearce. It was a really good move, and the two lads, Lloyd Bannister and Bay Downing, great cross by Bay Downing, a thundering header by Tom Pearce, and it does look very sharp.
Yeah, he does, and we identified, and it's not us really in terms of just getting it in the box from a wide area, but we identified in the first half they looked a little bit shaky from crosses coming in from the wide, so we sort of said that's how we look like we're going to get a bit of joy, not doing what we always do in terms of trying to play through them, because it just wasn't going to work because they were that good. So we mixed it up and we got opportunities from that. But as I said, I was really pleased with the way that we were able to play in the second half, and we kept it from them, and with the way we won it back high up the pitch as well, which we didn't look like we were going to be able to do in the first half an hour. And the goals themselves, as well as Crewe played in that first period, I thought the goals were very preventable. Maybe the last one where it was a great delivery and the lads coming late at the back stick, but the first and second ones, were really disappointed with them, but that's because of how sharp and how quick Crewe were, and I think they caught us on the hop. I made a lot of changes from the Macclesfield game as well, which obviously might have affected us a little bit, but they're all first team players out there, so it shouldn't have been too much. And I think you could tell in the second half we really got a little bit of control in the game, and like I said, I'm really disappointed we couldn't get a little goal or maybe two for our endeavours there, because I don't think 3-0 is a true reflection of the game, to be honest.
It was 0-0 for 75 minutes, so that's a positive.
Yeah, it certainly is. As I said, 2 goals were very preventable. One was a really well-worked goal by Crewe, but their play in the first half was outstanding, and it's what we aspire to be, as I've said many times here.
In terms of the situation with Elliot Rocker and Sean Miller, I guess we're getting pretty close to decision time there.
Yeah, well, again, they give me another headache. I thought Sean was stronger on Tuesday, and I thought Elliot did really well tonight, so I've got a lot of thinking to do. I'd love to keep them both, but unfortunately I have a budget and I'll have to make a decision on that one, so I need to speak to my management team and make a decision, because it'll be unfair of me to keep them any longer now without knowing what they're doing.
And the pre-season schedule sort of fits into 3 phases. The first 3 games against teams where you'd expect to get a lot of the ball, then 2 games against full-time Football League opposition, which are going to be more difficult encounters, and now obviously the last 2 games, Trafford away and Salford City at home, which they're always the most important games.
Yeah, I think every game we play, we emphasise the importance and trying to take something from it. But when you say try and take something from it, obviously everyone naturally presumes you mean a win, but we'll take a lot from that with regards to what we can do a little bit better, a little bit quicker, the way they moved it, the way they pressed us, the way they were brave in certain areas of the pitch that we always ask our lads to be. But I think what you saw there tonight, particularly in the opening exchange, was a team that was extremely sharp and very fit. I've not really seen Crewe sort of up and at a team like that in terms of a pre-season friendly when I've been involved anyway. So you could see that Dave's obviously got a lot of running in them this pre-season because they looked like they had good legs around the pitch. So it's been a bit of an eye-opener for our players, I think, and how we can improve. So yeah, we haven't won, and we won the other games, and we'll take a lot from that in terms of the way we finished them off and the way we played ever so well with the ball. But I thought against Macclesfield, I thought we kept the ball exceptionally well against a League Two team, and you won't be able to tell the difference with regards to the percentages, with possession of the play. But tonight, obviously, first half, they've dominated the opening exchanges. But like I said, I thought second half, I didn't really think they got out of the half that much, and I thought we pressed, we won it, we could have scored. So I don't think 3-0 is a true reflection. So it's a shame we couldn't get them goals that I thought a good play deserved. But again, they were worthy winners. They were the better team on the night. And they were outstanding in them opening exchange, and it just goes to show when we play the better opposition, we need to be that much sharper, that much more switched on defensively, and not allow sloppy goals, because that's not something we've shown so far.
We haven't seen either Sean Densmore or James Poole yet in the pre-season. What's the latest situation with both of those? Yeah, Sean's getting on with his running now. Hopefully he won't be too far away. I'd love to be able to play him at some point before the start of the season, just to see where he's up to. James Poole's a little further behind because he's been away, so unfortunately James is obviously catching up with his running. We are a semi-professional outfit, so players do go away. It's not ideal, so unfortunately James will be playing a little bit of catch-up, where Sean's creeping a little bit further ahead now. And finally, Phil, overall, you're very pleased and satisfied with the way the pre-season has gone? Yeah, I mean, the lads have applied themselves. I think you can see there, it wasn't a lack of effort, it was just pure and simply they were very sharp, very at it from the off, and caught us on the hop. So we'll sort of dust ourselves down and get ready for the next game, which is obviously Trafford away, which will be again completely different. But Tom Baker, who I know very well, he'll be dying to get something out of that game. And as you say, when the season's creeping ever so closer, everybody wants to see you get another couple of wins. But for me, it's about not getting injuries, and we got a real bad injury when we went there last season, which still scars me today. Obviously, John Disney. So if we come through pre-season with what we want out of it fitness-wise and the way we want to play, which I think everyone can see, we're not far away. We've done some great stuff this pre-season, scored a lot of goals. That's the first time we've not scored this pre-season against a League Two outfit, so that says everything. Then we'll be really happy. So as long as we go into that season injury-free, with the players doing what we want them to do and being as sharp as they possibly can be, then we've got something out of pre-season that'll be positive, and we'll be ready to take on the season. That's Altrincham Manager Phil Parkinson there, reflecting on tonight's 3-0 reverse against Crewe Alexandra and also the pre-season to date. Next action for the Robins, Tuesday night, Trafford FC versus Altrincham Shoreview, 7:45 p.m. And the last home game, or the last pre-season game, is at home to Salford City on July the 28th. Saturday, kick-off 3 p.m.